Bright suns and rising moons, fellow droids. Welcome to another episode of Not the Droids podcast. I'm Mayuri,
And I'm Danny.
and today we are going over the Clone Wars movie, which is the cartoon movie. I remember being so confused about it, but I'm curious, when did it come out?
It came out August 10th, 2008. So this came out before the series.
Or
And then the animated series released October 3rd, 2008, with a premiere on Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network?
Cartoon Network.
Oh, that's interesting. That says a lot about the show now that I know that. Because I keep forgetting that the show is so old that it's like predates Disney Plus and streaming.
And the Lucas Disney merge.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that makes more sense. That makes more sense.
So
I really like this movie.
I, well,
I
my
know
girl
why.
shows up. But I really was into this movie. I was not
Um,
sure what to expect or how I would feel about a full movie of the cartoon.
yes. So I feel like watching the short episodes, it's like you don't really like sink into the animation, but watching it in the movie, like the beginning was a little awkward, but then I finally got used to it and I didn't think about it the
Yeah.
rest of the movie.
But now it makes sense that the beginning was a little awkward because this is how they started off the
Off the
animated
Clone Wars.
series, was
Yeah.
it came right out of this into the movie.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. But I kind of liked that we saw the last two episodes of the show because chronologically they actually talk about the planet they're on.
Yes.
And so it makes sense why at the beginning of the movie they like the Jedi Order think that they have the planet secured,
Hmm.
and in reality they
They
do
don't.
not. Because we just saw that they had a spy and this whole situation.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, so I kind of liked how that started. I like how
I
they
also
introduced.
like the mini scroll. We still got a mini movie scroll.
Yes, we did.
And then we have a
Um,
narrator voiceover versus like,
that we kind of had a primer into it because then I didn't feel as lost and like what planet is this and why is it in chaos?
yeah.
But it was interesting to see. So again, we know what we know, right? So we know who the Sith Lord is because we've seen the movies.
Yes.
Um, and so watching Palpatine be a very trusted member of the Senate is so
Frustrating.
diabolical and frustrating, right? Because like you can see the whole situation unfold and how the Sith like really put like manipulated the Jedi because they have Palpatine in the Senate who can push, right? And so it's just like so wild because I saw that. I was just like, why is he pushing so hard? There must be a reason.
Yes.
And then you
And then
see
there's like
it.
this whole like situation where the chancellor like wants to send as many Jedi as possible. So you're like, dude, you want to like literally like round them up.
Yeah, like, what are you
But
doing?
then of course, only General Kenobi and Skywalker are available.
Well, everybody else is fighting, right? So,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, but like there's only those two specifically available.
well, again, because according to the Jedi, the last communication with them was that they secured the planet.
Yeah.
Not that there was a traitor in their midst and they were in the middle of a hard battle.
Yeah.
Um, it was also interesting to see. I don't think I realized. I thought the like separatist army were all droids, but seeing someone come out of the tank, like I just like finally was like, oh, there's
People.
like actual like people on the other side other than the Sith lords and apprentices.
Yeah.
So
So, and then like one of our first conversations we have is Obi-Wan has submitted a request for a new Padawan learner and is trying to convince Anakin that
you
he should
know
get one.
the foreshadowing.
I know, and
It was
Anakin's
so
just
funny.
like, I'm not a teacher, man.
No.
I'm like, I don't want
Um,
rules. Like, I like this conversation. I'm like, but that's literally what you do as a Jedi. Like,
you're
that's
supposed
literally the
to.
path.
But so here's the question I have. So Anakin is a Jedi Knight. He never gets the title of Master. So how does he? So like, do all Jedi Knights get a Padawan? My roommate was watching this with me, and she made a good point where she was like, Ahsoka comes onto the scene and says that she's assigned to Anakin
Mhm.
and calls her. She calls Anakin Master, but
Yeah.
Anakin is not a Jedi Master.
I don't think it's in like the formal sense. It's
Yeah, it's like the apprentice.
that is the wording that you use to your
Yeah. But no, but it was funny when they're just like, we're gonna send her. And of course, like I read the description, so I knew
yeah.
that her referred to Ahsoka. And then I saw her and I was like, why is she, in her little tube top skirty skirt with no armor at all? The whole movie. You see Anakin, you see Obi-Wan, and they have like their altered Jedi clothing to incorporate some sort of armor, but not Ahsoka.
No.
And that's why I was watching. I was just like, what? Why doesn't she get any sort of armor? I do enjoy the beginning. They were just like making fun of her because she looks so young. And she's like, they're like, you can't be a Padawan learner. You're too young. You're a youngling.
But from our knowledge of Tales of the Jedi, we know that Ahsoka showed promise at a very young age.
Super young. So, like,
Super young.
obviously, like, Yoda believes in her. And she's
Yeah.
very strong with the Force. Like, we see
Mhm.
her throughout the movie use it. But like honestly, she's so sassy.
I
Do
love it.
I enjoy their nicknames for each other? No.
They came out early on because I've always known that like Ahsoka has always been referred to as Snips. And I was surprised how early on these nicknames
Instant.
came. They
Instant.
were
Like
right out of the gate, but
Snips and Skyboy,
Sky Guy.
Sky Guy. And I was
Sky.
like, I kind of hate that. I'm not gonna lie. I do also hate Snips. But cool. Okay. They like really hammered that in
Yeah.
throughout.
People celebrate every year at the parks the day that Ahsoka appeared in the Clone Wars.
I mean, she's such a big character.
She is, and like it's a big deal. Like they do a whole event because she became such a big iconic character, and then we finally got a show. So,
Finally, finally. No. So the plot of the movie was such that, like, clearly the Sith are setting the Jedi up to fail and get a new enemy in the galaxy, all in the Outer Rim. I
mhm.
enjoyed the Hutts being that enemy slash because, like, I never really thought
It's
about how much the Hutts controlled.
oh yeah. And it's like
Um,
they're the enemy, but at the same time they're trying to make them not the enemy, but then they're trying to
they're just like trying to parlay with the
yeah.
gangsters. Oh yeah, so I was saying like they're just trying to parlay with the gangsters because they need access to the Outer Rim because
Yeah.
that's what the voiceover was saying, right? Like they can't
Yeah.
get their troops to where they need to be
Hmm.
without going through the huts.
Yes.
So it was interesting to see Anakin go back to Tatooine.
Yes, and he makes some sand reference.
Always the sand. But I don't it was really funny when they finally like they go through all of this stuff. They make it to the fortress and they meet the hut and it's a baby. And I didn't consider that
That
it
Jabba
was gonna
sent
be
was a baby.
I thought it was like a
I feel
teenage hut
like
or
I wonder
something.
if Jabba the Hutts have like not quite as long, but have like a Yoda Grogu-esque time,
Maybe.
like birth
So
timing.
but yeah, it was hilarious. Honestly, and then Ahsoka's like, my Jedi training did not prepare me for this.
Yeah.
Like,
I will note that right now she also only has one lightsaber.
yes. I didn't even notice that.
She's known
Well,
for
her lightsaber's not white either, right?
no, that was that's a switch for the show. So she does green and blue is the thing, and if you notice, Anakin's is the opposite color,
Yeah.
which I was like, okay, so maybe there's something playing there, is because she has two colors when once she has the two. Hers are very similar to, I think is it the samurai swords that have the two sizes? Because one's
Yeah.
shorter. Um, if I was far enough in my book, I would be able to tell you that because they talk about it in Ready Player One. But yeah, so she ends up with the shorter and the longer. The white ones came out of the TV series
Oh,
and The
okay.
Mandalorian, but in the cartoons they're green and blue.
Oh, okay.
They're not on my wall right now because we're in renovation mode, but they
Yeah.
I have the Clone Wars sabers, not the Ahsoka show sabers.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's I feel like this whole movie is just a setup for their relationship.
It very much is. I would also like to point out they are butting heads the whole time. Ahsoka very much says, I know what I'm doing. And she's out here just offing droids.
Oh
Can
my
we talk
God.
about this moment? She's literally just like, she's like, I don't like them. Swish.
But also, like, if we go further back, like to the beginning introduction where she goes to help Anakin, like, do the shield, she made life so much harder in every moment. Um, and like, it's interesting to see, like, Anakin was surrounded by droids, and she's like, just trust me. And she's like, there's a small hole on this big slab. I'm gonna bring it down and it's gonna line up with you perfectly. Like, I wouldn't trust her either. I'd be like, this kid
I mean,
just got here.
he has Kai energy.
She does have Kai
But also,
energy.
like, yeah, this kid that just got here, but he's also in this, like, I don't want her. Like, why is she here? Now I have to make sure she survives. I need to
Yeah, no.
survive.
We're gonna send her back. But
We did meet Captain Rex.
yes, which I think he's been in other episodes, just like not named so much, but
He
uh
comes back in Bad Batch.
that makes sense.
So he is
As
one that
he's the
we'll
only
recommend.
clone that did not die constantly. All the clones die all the time. And
We have
having watched,
R2. R2 is here.
yes, and then R4 was there too.
Yes.
Not only that, but there was like a pink version of R2, and I don't know where that one went. Um, but yeah, no, R2 is all over these.
He is. He's even got a baby carrier.
Well, it's her backpack.
I know that.
That was funny. But I
I,
do love when they like we're like going all over the place, but like one of my favorite moments is when they crash lands onto Tatooine and Ahsoka has to like bribe R2 to get into the sand. Because
yeah.
R2 very much is like, we left this place.
Yeah.
I hate
He's like,
sand.
last time I was here, I was kidnapped. I don't want to go here.
Don't want to go.
It
Um,
So we have friends that really love Fourth Wing. And right before I had watched this was our friend Sina was sharing the story of her partner reading Fourth Wing and talking about Andarna being in the baby Bjorn. And that's all I could think about when I saw R2 being carried. I'm like, oh, look, it's the same thing. But now R2's carrying a baby.
a baby hut
A baby
looks
hut.
gross. Gross and stinky. I
And
love the
then we
plot
meet
point that
Zero the
the
Hut.
don't even get me started on that. The voice of that hut is hilarious. Hilarious. But makes more sense when it was like a power play. If they're gangsters, right? It
Yep,
was a power play to try and get control of the family empire.
very
Um,
much.
it makes a lot more sense. I don't know. I liked the movie. I liked the plot. But again, I to me, it was just like a very long. watch to introduce Ahsoka as Anakin's Padawan.
I, because this is technically the first thing that came out,
It makes
I
sense.
I think it wasn't just to meet Ahsoka.
Yeah.
For us, we're like, yeah, Ahsoka's the character we want more of,
To set up the
but
politics of it, right?
I think it was setting up politics, setting up the characters we are going to meet. So it's like reminding you of like, hey, this is Padme and this is this is her personality and this is what it's like updating us where everyone is in the universe and what is happening. And
Yeah.
Ahsoka's just part of that because they're like, oh, we have some new characters. Here they are. So
Yeah.
I think that's what this can, and I think it is enjoyable. Like it's not something I would rewatch all
No,
the
I do like
time,
it.
but I did
It was
really
good.
enjoy it.
Um, no, I was actually surprised by the ad of Padme at the end.
Hmm.
And I was just like, oh.
I also really appreciate that she's still like the smartest in the room,
Hmm.
and C-3PO is just
I
doing his
did
thing.
enjoy the moment where Palpatine was like, no, Padme, they're dangerous gangsters. Don't go there. You shan't. And she was just like, I will do whatever I can
Yeah.
to help Anakin on behalf of the Senate. Like, girl, who are
Yeah.
you trying to fool there?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Mm.
Um, but no, so it's like it is also, I will say, a very clear lens in how masterfully, I don't know, the Sith are manipulating the Senate and the Jedi
Yeah.
into doing what they want,
Very much so.
which is it like does not bode well, and we all know what happens.
We do. Yeah. We do.
But it makes sense on how we got to that point because like they were so like entrenched in the war and thinking that they knew everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
So I'm excited to see where it goes from here. And so, because this is such an expansive show and we will be jumping around, I'm actually gonna provide the next three things we will be watching. So, the next episode will be The Clone Wars Season 3, Episode 1, titled Clone Cadets. Then we jump back to Tales of the Jedi, Season 1, Episode 5, Practice Makes Perfect. And then The Clone Wars Season 3, Episode 3, Supply Lines. And so that's all going to be one episode from us. So if you're watching along with us, those are the three you will want for our next
For
episode.
next week. Yeah. What was your favorite? What was the best takeaway from this movie, do you think?
Takeaway? I'm not sure takeaway just because I'm like, I feel like we're just being set up to go into this part of the story. But I will just stand by like Ahsoka appearing was one of my favorite things. Also, that like Yoda managing that, like, where she's
Yeah.
just like, I'm not your Padawan, Obi-Wan,
Uh,
I'm Anakin.
I can just see Yoda on the other side being like, this girl is such an annoying brat that doesn't listen to anybody
No, I don't think that's what I think he was
and thinks
going.
she
Oh,
knows everything. It's like, give her to Anakin because he was the same
I
way.
think he's like these two will go well together. I also in my head picture, oh, I have my little Ahsoka right here. She's one of the Disney Doorables. I in my head, even though it's not this cartoon's Yoda, I think of young Jedi Yoda with all his little teeth just going, this is gonna be fun to watch. Like that's what's happening in
He's
my head
such a
is that
shit stir. He's such a like stir of things. I do
he
enjoy that. But
is,
no, like I said, my favorite takeaway is like how manipulated the Jedi were the
yeah.
whole time. And like going into every episode after this, I feel like I'm gonna be on alert to see like do they start to notice
Yeah.
these
I
things?
think we're gonna really enjoy the character development we get from this series, the foreshadowing, and just the general story of so many different characters and how everything meets.
Yeah. So I'm hoping though that the like the animation style, now that we've seen the movie, it's like kind of solid. in
Yes.
our brains, and it doesn't like throw
It
me
doesn't
off every
distract you.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So until next time, we're not the droids you're looking for.
But we're the droids you're gonna get.